As far back as I can remember, I always wanted to be a gangster. To me, being a gangster was better than being President of the United States. Even before I first wandered into the cab stand for an after-school job, I knew I wanted to be part of them. It was there that I knew that I belonged. To me, it meant being somebody in the neighborhood that was full of nobodies. They weren't like anybody else. I mean, they did whatever they wanted. They double parked in front of a hydrant and nobody ever gave them a ticket. In the summer when they played cards all night, nobody ever called the cops. Tutty Chichero. Tutty. Tutty ran the cab stand in La Bella Vista Pizzeria, a few other places for his brother Paul, who was a boss over everybody in the neighborhood. Paulie might have moved slow, but it was only because he didn't have to move for anybody. At first, my parents loved that I found a job across the street. My father, who was Irish, was sent to work at the age of 11, and he liked that I got myself a job. He always said American kids were spoiled and lazy. My mother was happy after she found out that the Varias came from the same part of Sicily as she did. To my mother, it was the answer to her prayers. I was the luckiest kid in the world. I could go anywhere. I could do anything. I knew everybody and everybody knew me. But it wasn't too long before my parents changed their minds. For them, the cab stand was supposed to be a part-time job, but for me, it was most definitely full-time. People like my father could never understand, but I was a part of something. I belonged. I was treated like a grown-up. Every day I was learning to score, my father was always pissed off. He was pissed that he had to work so hard. He was pissed that he made such lousy money. That he was pissed that there were 7 of us living in a tiny house. But after a while, he was mostly pissed that I hung around the cab stand. He said they were bums and that I was a bum. He said I was going to get into trouble. I used to say I was only running errands after school, but he knew better. He knew that what went on at the cab stand, and after once in a while, usually after he got his load on, I had to take a beating. But by then, I didn't care. No matter how many beatings I took, I wouldn't listen to what he said. You know, I don't think I even heard him. The way I saw it, everybody's got to take a beating sometime. That was it. No more letters from truant officers. No more letters from school. In fact, no more letters from anybody. How could I go back to school after that and pledge allegiance to a flag and sit through good government bullshit? Hundreds of guys depended on Paulie, and he got a piece of everything they made. It was tribute, just like the old country, except they were doing it in America, and all they got from Paulie was protection from other guys looking to rip them off. That's what it's all about. That's what the FBI can never understand. And that's what Paulie and the organization does, is offer protection for people who can't go to the cops. They're like the police department for wise guys. People looked at me differently. They knew I was with somebody. I didn't have to wait in line at the bakery on Sunday morning anymore for fresh bread. The owner knew who I was with, and he'd come from around the corner no matter how many people were waiting. I was taken care of first. Our neighbors didn't park in our driveway anymore, even though we didn't have a car.